Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video here in Moscow, Russia. Yes, I'm still in Moscow, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a 100 ruble challenge. Yes, we're going to try to go shopping and buy dinner tonight for 100 rubles. Here's the famous 100 ruble note. That's the Bolshoi Theater right there on the money as well. And we're going to try and buy enough food to have dinner tonight at my house after we've left the shop, of course. So what do you think? Do you reckon we can do it? We can find enough food for 100 rubles? All right, let's head on into Ashan and find out. Okay, so first things first, when you come into Ashan, you've got to get yourself the famous Ashan trolley. These are the ones with like the little double basket. Now, I'm just going to put the one basket on for this video because I think for 100 rubles, we're not going to fill this basket. So let's just have a look around. So I'm here with my friend today, Dima, and we're going to see what we can find for 100 rubles for dinner tonight. Now this is kind of the cake section over here. They've got a little bit of stuff for Easter. Here's the frozen section. We're not going to find anything for 100 rubles that is frozen, I don't think. So we're going to have a look and go up and down a couple of aisles and see if we can fill this basket for 100 rubles. Let's go. Now moving across the supermarket here. Here's the fish section, and then there's the fresh salmon, and then all the fresh fish over here. Plenty of fish to choose from. They got the tanks there in the distance, and they even have their own cafe at the back there. That's right, you can actually buy yourself some food and have lunch right here in the supermarket. Now we found our first thing that we're going to buy here. We're going to get ourselves a banana, plenty to choose from, and these are only 89 rubles a kilo. So we buy these by weight. So let's see what our first item is going to cost, shall we? Okay, so here in Russia, you have a little bit of a different way to buy them. You put it on the scales, you choose your item, and it makes your sticker for you right there. And that's it. Our first item, 14 rubles. So that's good so far. Okay, so once we've taken the price of the banana off, we're left with 85 rubles, 86 kopek. So there's definitely plenty of choices here in the fruit and veg section that we could have chosen from. Okay, bananas, of course, very healthy, gives you good energy. There's fruits here, oranges, mandarins, pears, apples. And the vegetables here, of course, carrots, potatoes, plenty of vegetables off in the distance there. So we've made it over to the Ashan bakery, and of course here they make all their own breads. They have a huge bakery in the back there. Now it's later in the evening, so there's not as many people preparing bread now, so that'll happen again tomorrow morning. And we found our next purchase, a loaf of bread or a bread stick for 9 rubles. What more could we ask for? 9 rubles for a bread. That's a bargain. Let's gonna grab one of them, shall we? All right. So 9 rubles 99. That's all the bread's gonna cost us. All right, let's check out the running total. So we've taken our 9 rubles 99 off, and we're left with 75.87. All right, and so far, a banana and some bread. So far, so good. Now, part of us having dinner, we can't go thirsty, so of course we'd love to take some beer right here, but we're going to grab ourselves a bottle of water from just over here. So there's quite a few to choose from. These are all the still waters, and we've just parked up right in front of a bottle of basically Ashan water, which is 14 rubles. That's not too bad for 600 milliliters of water. So let's figure out now where we're at. 14.99 rubles leaves us with 60 rubles 88 still to go. The beer section in Ashan is actually very, very large. It's an entire aisle just where we just walked down now, so there's a lot of choices. And have a look what's right out front and center. Probably the most famous should be sanctioned beer, the Budweiser. Right here, and then over on the other side there's even more choices. Now it's kind of difficult to figure out what the main dish is going to be for the dinner tonight, so we've come down the kind of canned fish and canned meat aisle. Actually, there's canned vegetables on this side, olives as well, and we've come across something that I think might be kind of edible. And this is right here. It's 39 rubles, and it's actually a rice with beef. It's kind of like plof, but it doesn't look too bad really. And that's easily opened. We can put that in a saucepan at home and heat it up. And I reckon with maybe a little pinch of salt or some soya sauce, it won't be too bad. Now, 39 rubles off our total leaves us with 20 rubles 89. Let's hope we can find something else for the last 20 rubles. Now, just walking around Ashan, you'll see here a lot of people have these red baskets. It's a very popular way to do shopping, you know, so that you don't buy too much and it's still easy to carry home. People like me who's on the bus and the metro and the train, it's an easy way to get around, and especially if you're on public transport, you'll see everybody with the baskets. It's a very popular thing to carry around here in the shopping center. Now with the last 20 rubles, we've found some sweets. Now we're actually going to go for some pay-by-weight candy here, or sweets. There's a lot to choose from. It's a very popular thing in Russia. Now we're actually going to go for these kind of wafer biscuits. These are very nice, these wafer biscuits. Now, 610 rubles for a kilo. But we know that if we just buy 2 of them, it's going to be better value. Okay, let's weigh up these candies and see how much they come to. It was 886. And let's see what the sticker comes out. Here we go. It's 14 rubles, 0.66. And we found a way to spend our last 5 rubles. These are on some cherry and apricot kind of candies. So let's check out how much they came to. We've actually pre-weighed these ahead of time. So we've got 2 cherry ones and 1 apricot. And it's 5 rubles, 0.98. All right, let's put everything in the basket. And we'll go to the checkout and see how much we've spent, shall we? So we did think about buying a chocolate bar, but most of them are a little bit out of our budget. With 20 rubles to spend, we didn't want like chewing gum or anything sweetie. Actually, a chewing gum would have been 20 rubles. But that's not very nutritious. So there was a few of the house brand chocolate bars here, but even at 29 cents or 29 rubles for the house brand, it was a little bit too high. So going for the pay-by-weight candy seems to have been the winner for our 100 ruble challenge. Look at all the choices of candy. My gosh. Both sides of the aisle. And then look just ahead here, we've got Nutella and then jams and honeys as well. Okay, there we have everything ready to do our shopping. Now this is a little bit different way to pay here. So what happens is the lady does your checkout here. You don't actually pay her. She just does the scanning and gives you a receipt. And then we've got a checkout just at the back there, which we'll see in a second. But here we are, waiting and ready to go, right there. Okay, our lady here is going to do the scanning for us. This is the very strange part now. So she scans things, but we don't give her any money. But over here is our running total. So hopefully we're going to come out just within the 100 rubles. Let's see in a second, shall we? She's a little bit confused, but I think she's got it figured out. We won't confuse her just for a second. Okay, so here's this strange payment method. So after the lady scanned everything, we take it back off her. She gives us this barcode. We scan it here on number 1. And our total is 99 rubles 75. How cheap is that? All right, and here goes our 100 rubles. There we go. Just took the money. Will we get any change? We got our receipt. There you go, 99 rubles. And we even have 1 ruble change. How good is that? All right, so we've got our bag of items, we've got our receipt. Now, to get out of here in Russia, you have to scan your card, or your receipt, sorry, on this barcode reader. And there you go, and the door opens, and magically we're out of Ashan, right there. Okay everybody, traveling with Russell, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed this 100 ruble challenge. And look at the bag I've got of things. And I got change from 100 rubles. Can you believe that? We've got dinner tonight after spending only 100 rubles, which is around about $1 US. Here in Russia, it's good value if you can find the right things to eat. You can find some bargains in the supermarket here at Ashan. All right, I'm heading to the metro. I'm heading off on another adventure now. So don't forget, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Post a comment, let me know what you think of my choices. And I'll see you in another video. Bye everybody. Bye.